You're not the law. I'm the law.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say something. This episode had more puns than Stallone's Judge Dredd movie. I'm just
Yeah, it really did. Man,
this
episode.
I mean, folks,
Yes,
we're here.
we're here.
The final episode of Batman the Animated Series.
Yep, I know. It's crazy. Like what, about 4 years ago, right?
It will be 4 years, April 21st of this year. It'll be exactly 4 years since the first stream.
Since we, decided to do this. Like I said, I remember sitting on my couch and just being like, because I got inspiration from Steven and Andrew Dice, who were doing BBS by the minute. And I was just like, that'd be cool to do something like that with, oh, wait, Batman the Animated Series. Let's go episode by episode, And then I was like, who else? Who would we? Oh, of course, Scott. And immediately, what was your response when you, when I fuck yeah.
Fuck
That's
yeah.
what he said. He said, fuck yeah. And it started off with that. It was like, all right, yeah, this could go on for a bit. And then, then we're like, well, wait a minute. We got Superman that's supposed to intertwine. Why not keep on going with stuff? And then we're not ending. We're just ending this portion that started the whole thing, but we still got plenty more Superman. We got Batman Beyond. We got Static X. We got we got everything.
We got everything. We have so freaking much.
Yes. And I mean, and it's not even the last, there's still the Batman. There's Batman Brave and the Bold. We're just going to just have fun and just continue on because why not?
Because we're 40-year-old men who love to watch cartoons.
Exactly. And that'll never get old. But yes, guys, this is our wrap of Batman the Animated Series. And, obviously,
hold on before we start talking about the episode, though.
Okay.
Last week, I promised some show and tell in honor of the final episode.
That's right.
And this stuff came, of course, it all came in like the next day. So,
of course, it always does, right?
But I feel like these items that arrived are appropriate since we are wrapping up Batman the Animated Series this evening.
Okay.
So, because I announced it on the stream, I think just a couple weeks ago, I'm going to be honest, I did not expect it to come this quickly. But here it is, folks. The Mondo vinyl release.
Ooh, that's right.
Of Mask of the Phantasm. This thing is just pretty. You got this. You got the back. Oh, look at the fold gate art. This is
so pretty.
It's the graveyard with that angel.
Yeah.
And then, as I told you, I of course got the. I still got the special. I got the special colored vinyl. So let me see. Here we go.
Look at that. I love that. Look at that.
Phantasm Smoke.
Yep. That's what you're telling me. You were telling me about that. Like it's.
And they got the color right too. I mean,
it's so pretty.
It is so pretty. So yeah, this is. I just opened it before the streams and I just looked at everything. Let me show you that gatefold art again. Now that I'm full screen.
Yeah.
Oh, but there,
angel right there in the cemetery. Look at that, the moon.
Oh
just pretty.
Oh, this is so pretty. I mean, Mondo just does amazing things. I think the first thing I did with Mondo, I remember was getting the box set for Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah. Wasn't there like Mondo Phantasm posters? Did you get one of those?
I never got the posters, and I never got the figures either because those things are expensive, and I just never. Oh, and then also there's a little there's no liner notes, but there's like this little mini poster that comes. The funny thing, have you noticed an interesting little detail about this entire design?
What
do you not see on any part of this?
Batman?
Yes. I kind of dig it. That's literally cool. The entire all of the artwork. It's all about Andrea. It's all Phantasm. It's not It's not one bit Batman. So that's
so pretty.
So cool. So guys, like I said, normally when you order Mondo, it's like you pre-order and like you wait a few months or something. Like, no, clearly by the time they advertised this, it was already like pressed and ready to go. Because I think within a week of me ordering it, it was shipping.
That's sweet. Yeah, sometimes those shits, can take forever.
Oh no, I've waited like months, a year for these things to
okay.
how long I waited for Zack Snyder's Justice League to ship. I do have one more special thing to I know. Okay. By the way, you're to blame for this.
Okay. You're welcome.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
Oh boy. Oh, you got it. You got the Lego set. Holy shit. Oh man.
You posted the Amazon link.
Yeah.
And fuck you for that. But
damn, if anybody especially listening or something like that, I mean the Lego set, it's essentially a 3D like image. It's like you can hang it up. It's a picture.
It's a picture. It's the skyline of Gotham.
Yep.
And it comes with, let's see, Joker, Harley Quinn, Batman, Catwoman, and some gargoyles. And it's the skyline of Gotham per the animated series.
Red skies, and spotlights, the bat signal, everything.
How many pieces is this thing? Hold on.
Oh, geez.
4,210 pieces.
Wow, that's going to be a fun one to put together.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep my kids away from trying to help Daddy with this.
I was about to say, it was like, would you actually have one of your kids to help you, or would you just do it solo?
Is that like Declan loves, like, he has a Lego table in his room, like he is all about Lego. The problem then is Cal going, Daddy, that cool, and then he breaks everything because it's Callum. I mean, you've watched him on this very channel kill a laptop, so you know what? It's just it's what happens. But yeah, I'm paying this off over 12 months.
Oh yeah, that thing was pretty pricey.
It was very pricey, but because it was on Amazon, I was able to do like, equal payments over 12 months. And when I saw that, I was like,
gotta do it.
It's Batman the Animated Series. And then the fact that it arrived. Oh, I gotta tell you, it was a story though.
Okay.
It wasn't selling from Amazon. It was one of those third-party sellers who sell on Amazon. So when it shipped, they didn't tell me until it shipped. It required a signature.
Oh, of course.
I got off of the day it was supposed to be delivered. I got off at 1:00 in the afternoon. You know when UPS tried to deliver it?
Gee, I wonder when.
12:30. So it eventually got to me 2 days later.
I mean, but there is something. I mean, maybe it's you do live in Alabama, so you probably don't have to worry when they leave stuff on.
That is very true. I do not have I don't have porch pirates. I mean, dude, if this is my story. If they can leave the Darkseid statue out in front of my garage.
I was just thinking about that, because that was right there.
I did have to sign for that.
It's just it's crazy how that is with like certain things. Like, I mean, mainly it's like, it's funny because I'm home all day, especially because I work from home. And when I get something delivered from Amazon, it's always kind of funny because sometimes the Amazon drivers, they'll just give me like a little dit, and it'll like kind of startle me. I'm like, and then of course they're already down the fucking stairs, and then they're back in their van. But there's sometimes where they don't even knock. I just all of a sudden get an email going, your Amazon delivery was delivered. I'm like, what? And I just open it up. Oh, okay, cool. But it's just, I've never had
my Alexa just goes, boop. Just like,
there you go. Delivered. Yeah.
Delivered.
Yeah. No, but that's cool though, man. Well, you're welcome for that. And of course, cheers. Cheers to your new gift to yourself.
I know, right? Mm-hmm. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
There you go. You gotta love it. Yeah, pretty good stuff. But guys, we're talking about Judgment Day now. Naturally, going in production order. This was, the last episode of basically Batman the Animated was supposed to be Mad Love, but we already talked about that, and we made it a point that we were going to stick to production order, and
right,
here
because
we
Mad
are.
Love was the last one that aired.
Yes, that's when that aired, which makes sense. It's a good one to
it's a good one. I
to wrap
wish
it
we
up
were
on.
ending on it, to be
I know.
honest.
Yeah, but we stuck to our guns. We said right from the beginning that we were going to go in production order, so we stuck to it. We stuck to it. Trust me. It would have been a nice one to go out on when it comes to this, but hey, like I said, we got plenty more DC animated
We'll
shows
for
to
it
talk.
next week. Don't
Yes,
worry.
don't worry. Although, like, I was thinking though, should we? I remember, I think I brought up the idea of like, should we discuss like our favorite top 5? Maybe not, because we're probably
No,
gonna. No, I don't think we need to do that, right? I was thinking about doing like a bonus episode of like, let's talk about our favorite episodes, but I think it'd probably be similar lists, huh?
it would be similar lists, and also it's like we know what the good ones are.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Especially now. Now, if this had just stayed Batman the Fan-imated stream,
Yeah,
and
then
this was like the end of the stream, like we'd let that happen. Like we're gonna stop talking. No, that's not.
That's not in our nature. Are you kidding me?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe we would have done it, but
Yeah.
since we've got the entire universe, and we literally get to just move on to another episode next week.
Yeah.
I think no, it
Yeah.
may be something like, honestly, yeah, it would just. I feel like our list would be similar. I feel like we've kind of already like
Yeah.
hinted over the course of the last 4 freaking years what those really great episodes are.
Yeah.
But
True that. Yeah, it was just something I was having a thought about. But then I was like, nah, we probably would just probably have the same. I mean, there might be like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah. I was just kind of just it was just a thought I had prior to the starting the stream.
And frankly, it would take too much work to go back and think about all 108
Very
episodes.
true. Very true. But yeah, we have Judgment Day here. Now, going into this episode, I was like, I remember this episode. But then I didn't remember certain things, and I was like, wait a minute, who is? I was like, Judgment, who's the judge? I was like, for some reason, like at first, it eluded me.
Really? See, I'm watching the episode, and I remember the entire time.
See,
who the
it didn't
judge
hit me
is.
at first. It was like I knew the episode, but for some reason, I was like, I don't know why. Just like 10 minutes in, and that's where it finally. I went, oh, I was like disappointed in myself. I was like, oh yeah, of course.
Well,
But
I mean, isn't that a familiar feeling for you?
Yeah, it's usually what happens, like, when I revisit stuff, and, that's always gonna be it usually is the case. But it was just
you're
kinda funny.
disappointed in yourself, I'm disappointed in you, the audience is
It's
disappointed in
okay.
you.
It's fine. It's totally fine. I don't mind it. But yeah, it was just kinda like one of those. I was like, "Wait a minute, who is the judge?" And I was like, "Wait, is it?" But you know what's kinda funny about this rewatching this episode? I mean, speaking of, Mask of the Phantasm, kinda had a little vibe.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How long has it been since we've had one of these moments where like you and I are just like just psychically linked that we're thinking? I mean, because the judge kind of floats and moves kind of like the Phantasm. It's a different voice than who the character ends up being, with some weird post done to the voice. They have a choir singing during the I was having the exact same thoughts, how this definitely gave off some Phantasm vibes. So yeah, I'm there with you on that.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I figured you would be too, because it just, with all those elements that you just listed right there. And it starts off where it's just like, hey, I mean, there's a lot of appearances that happen with the Rogues Gallery in here. It starts off right off the bat with Penguin and Killer Croc.
Yeah, and this just reinforces how much I hate the redesign of Croc.
Yeah,
I don't like
new voice, new look, new everything.
He doesn't even with the new voice. He doesn't even behave like Croc. from the original 85. It's like Croc is a completely different character, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not.
Really don't.
We expressed that when we first saw him again, and it's kind of funny too because like even his voice, he almost sounds like Batman a little. He almost sounds like it's Kevin Conroy that's doing the voice at times. There was times where I was like, I know it's not Kevin Conroy, but why does he sound like Conroy? Like, I don't know. It was just I was getting those like just in whoever the voice actor is. I can't remember who it is.
I can't remember because it wasn't really one that I think Love is a Croc, the baby doll episode was the last time. Oh, I think that was the first time we experienced Croc in the new Batman adventures.
Yeah.
And just
still not good. But yeah, so Croc is trying to sell a diamond that he stole to Penguin, but Penguin is like, well, I'll give you 50 G's for it, but Croc's not happy about it because, it's supposed to be like way more than that. But, Penguin is a businessman. I mean, he's running the Iceberg Lounge. He mentions that he's got to pay his employees. Of course, he's got his Penguin
taxes, overhead.
He has all that stuff. So he's there. And then guess who else shows up? We got Two-Face that's showing up. And thankfully, even though, his redesign was probably, I don't mind his redesign. I mean, it's not even that much of a difference.
It's just the same design.
Yeah, it's not. They didn't do much. Yeah, and we still got what's his name? That's may he rest in peace.
Oh crap!
I know. My brain went fucking
Bailiff from Night Court and
yeah.
I cannot.
Anybody in the chat could, or if you look it up, I don't know. It's goddamn. I was just let's see. I remember I was talking to my mom about Night Court. He was in Night Court.
Oh, geez, it was Richard Mall.
Oh, there you go. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I was just talking to my mom the last time I had dinner with her. Because she was talking about the reboot or whatever, the sequel series to Night Court. And we were just talking about that. She goes like, yeah, I don't really like it. And I remember watching Night Court as a kid, and I was like, I liked the show, but I mean, I haven't watched the new show. So
I haven't watched, and the old show was one of those that was like, I would catch an episode here or there, but I never like sat down and watched like the whole thing.
Yeah, I didn't know it either. I remember liking him because he was just like this big dude who just said random shit and he was just goofy. But I mean, it was like I remember it was like when I was a kid and my parents were watching it, and I remember the fucking theme series, the theme song, it was like a saxophone, I remember just like certain things, but I wouldn't be able to describe an actual full-on episode. I just remember it. I remember who was the judge, who was, I remember David Arquette and, as him as one of the lawyers and stuff like that. But I could not even tell you like what an episode was. I just remember the setting and the theme song and the opening and the title and everything. But may he rest in peace, Richard Mall.
We've pretty much, it's so sad like during the 4 years of us doing the stream.
How many have passed away?
I mean, we lost Arlene Sorkin. We lost Kevin Conroy. We lost Richard Mall. Bob Hastings had already passed away before we started the show. Michael Azaria had already passed away before we started the show. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., I think, had already passed away before we started the show. It's like
did we lose who played Daggett? Did we lose
Ed Asner? We lost Ed Asner.
Yeah.
We lost Ed Asner while we were doing the stream.
Yeah, I think that was it. But we lost some heavy hitters, man.
We did. I mean, at this point, of the big names, we still got John Glover. We've still got Tara Strong. We've still got Lauren Lester.
Yeah.
But that's
Mark Hamill. Yeah.
We still have Mark Hamill. And then I think we still have Andrea Barbeau.
Yeah.
She's still around.
She's still around.
Yeah, but it's still looking good, by the way, for her, for her age. Yeah, I mean, she's one of those that's just never going to not.
I think about like a month and a half ago, I just put on The Fog just randomly, and I'm just like, God, it's hard just not to, and her voice too. It's just
God, I
need to the radio host at late at night, and then Yeah. I don't know if you've seen
I've
the
never
Fog.
seen the original Fog. I remember,
Oh,
but of course, you got Roger Corman's Swamp.
oh, yeah, of course.
Not Corman. Sorry, the guy Wes Craven. Wes
That's right.
Craven's Swamp Thing and Escape from New York.
Oh, yeah.
So we still have some people. I hate to say it, we still have some people to lose. It just
But I mean, that's part of life. It's
it
part of life.
is, it really is.
But
But
it's crazy, like that. I mean, especially losing Kevin Conroy through the last 4 years. That one hit the obviously the most.
oh, that was a punch in the balls, is
Yeah,
what
it
that
was
was.
totally just like a fuck, man. But yeah, but his like I said, he will always be the Batman voice today here in my head when I read a Batman comic book. And yeah, he'll always have the best Batman voice. But yeah, so Two-Face shows up, and of course, it's just business dealings and everything like that the Penguin's doing. And then, of course, we have to give that little. As soon as they leave, he has to like mention that, opens the safe and he shows like a bunch more money. Where he's just like, if they only knew how I was doing things, because it's the Penguin. He's of course fucking over anybody who's doing.
Of course, he's also talking to nobody.
Yes, of course. You have to be talking to the audience to let it be known that he's fucking over, Croc and Two-Face.
Two-Face, yeah.
Then, of course, we get our first glimpse of the Judge.
And really, he walks up and just like, your angel of death awaits. It's just like
it might as well just be that. With his voice, anybody that we should know?
You know what? I didn't even bother. I you know what? I'll look it up right now because I didn't even bother to like look.
I figured it wasn't anybody. I couldn't pinpoint. I mean, it sounded like it. I mean, to me, it sounded like somebody who's probably done numerous voice acting stuff. It just like he probably has just been around. I didn't think it was going to be like
you know what? Not even name I recognize.
Yeah,
Malachi Thorne.
Malachi Thorne. Well, he's got a pretty interesting.
It's a cool ass name. I mean,
yeah,
but
I mean, is there any other like credits that he has that we might know?
I'm looking him up right now. See, he was a day player, so he's one of those, that guys. He was in the OG Star Trek.
Okay.
Not
really voice acting, huh?
A lot of voice acting. Oh, yeah. Here's a fun little bit. He played False-Face in Batman 66.
Oh wow. What the fuck? Well, that's an interesting connection right there.
Yeah. He was really a TV actor. The only movie he did that stands out to me is he had a small role in Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
Good movie. But when you look at, but basically for the 60s and the 70s, he was in every TV show.
Yeah.
Because just to name a few, Wild Wild West, The Untouchables, The Fugitive, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Hogan's Heroes, it's Lost in Space, Perry Mason, so it's just one of those.
He had steady work for sure.
He was a day player, but he was just one of those guys he would just go from one show to the other. But but once again, like I said, when I heard the voice, I was like, nope, nothing that rings a bell. No,
I was like, maybe he sounds like and I'm sure he probably did some kind of voice in some kind of other thing that maybe I heard him on. I don't know, but I'm sure there's probably numerous of those too. But I don't recognize the name or anything like that. But anyways, so we have this, and then of course the Judge. I mean, he's pretty ruthless. Like I said, he kind of glides as he moves around with his, his, what do they call it? A garb? I don't know. A robe. It's a robe. The Judge's robe. A garb. I'm thinking of like, ooh, it's just like, I'm like, wait, they wear robes.
Judges wear a robe. Yes.
And of course, he's got the, the wig.
The wig. Yeah, which is funny because that's from British court.
Yeah, American stuff. What are we doing here? But he's gotta have that appearance to make it a little bit more.
It is kind of cool though that he's got like he pulls out the sword. Yeah. That's justice. There's a lot of that Judge and Justice iconography that gets used throughout. And like I said, that would have been cool if it wasn't for all the stupid puns that
yeah, they got that he keeps on saying and stuff like that. And then of course, he ties up Penguin's young ladies that her hen. I don't
Raven
know.
and Lark. Yes,
Right, there you go. Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember the first time I remember them showing up, or at least us commenting on them, I think was the Roxy Rocket
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
But I don't remember them getting names. This is the first time. Now maybe they did, but this is the first time that his henchwomen, like their names stuck out to me. So it's kind of cool. I mean, it's nice when they have names. It was like, when we talked about in last week's episode how we had, Mo, Lou, and Curl,
Yeah.
and then there was I forgot, there was the twins in the original 85 that would be the Joker henchmen, like the ones who showed up in Harley and Ivy, eating the food, and then, boss, I don't feel so good. Those goofballs. I forgot what their names were.
Me
But
too. Something.
But when the henchmen were recurring henchmen, that is something that I liked about Batman the Animated Series. Yes, it made it easier because you just use the same character models.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that you have like just basically these goons that just have regular work as henchmen to a particular, Gotham City rogue. I think it makes sense.
It does. It definitely does.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're tied up. So Penguin's freaking out. He's running, and then of course the judge is going after him, and then he just like the Penguin has a giant penguin that's on some wheels. So he was just like, well, let me just cut the rope that's holding this back, and that's gonna, Penguin trying to get out, can't get through the door, it's locked, and then he just gets he gets clobbered through the wall, and the whole thing falls on him.
It kind of reminded me of the Angel actually falling on
there you go,
on the dude. Was it
I forgot his,
wasn't Chucky?
it
Was it Chucky?
Yeah, in the grave, right?
In the grave. I'm trying to remember it because it's the second gangster that gets killed
I
in
can't remember his
Phantasm,
name.
and I can't remember if I think Chucky Saul was the first one who gets killed in the parking garage because it was Valestra.
Sorry, okay. I think I just remembered the two. See, my brain was still on the two goons that were trying to remember their names. Wasn't it Gilligan and wasn't it? No. Maybe I was wrong. I was thinking of something. Never mind. There was one they were like.
No, you're right. There was one that their first names
Gilligan and the Skipper, right?
With the Gilligan and the Skipper, yeah.
Yeah. Was it them? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we had. Okay, there you go. All right. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. My brain was still going. It's right there. It was like right on the tip of my tongue, and then
I can't remember. I can't believe you remembered that. That's
yeah.
Dude, that's impressive.
Dude, it was like right there. So while you were talking about that, I'm like, there it is. Oh, fuck. That was satisfying. Jesus Christ.
You did sound a little bit like Heath Ledger's Joker right there. It was like, I'm like a dog.
Yeah.
What
I wouldn't know if I got it. Seriously. Anyways, go on.
No, I'm just trying to remember which one is the one that, which one's the second goon? What's the second mob boss that gets killed in Phantasm in the graveyard? But because I still think Chucky Saul was the first one who died, and so I don't remember who the second one was. But when the Phantasm dumps the stone angel on him, that's what, as we go through all the Phantasm-y things about this episode, the giant penguin smashing into Oswald reminds me of a very toned down version of the stone angel crushing that second mob boss.
Yeah. And even the news reports like he's in critical condition. So yeah, that effed him up pretty. I mean, going through a freaking wall like that, Jesus Christ. And then and then of course, people are watching it, like Croc is watching it, and then of course, I like how Bruce is watching it in the back of the car, and then Alfred just goes, "An associate of yours, sir," and then Bruce is like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And they're talking about the judge, like, "What do you?" And he's just like, oh. It's like, that wasn't the time, Alfred. Wasn't the time to make jokes like that because Bruce was not having it. I don't think any time's really a good time.
No, not really, not at all. So,
but he still tries. He tries.
He does try, but there's always that thing about how, because the new Batman Adventures timeline wise takes place 2 years after the original 85.
No,
Bruce is like even in a crummier mood
Yes.
than he was in the first run of the show.
Very true. Very true. So then, of course, now we have a a loaded armored truck that is going to be carrying a bunch of cash, and then of course now we got Croc going. All right, well, it's never now. Okay, so people in Gotham, never park your truck underneath the where there's a manhole.
Yeah,
it's like a perfect. It's just the perfect storm of like, hey, someone's going to come through that manhole.
Exactly. It's like every heist movie you've ever seen. It's like,
Never
no, don't
Yes.
park underneath the manhole.
Know where your manholes are. That's
That
good
sounded
advice.
really dirty.
Yes, it did. That's advice my dad told when I was. No, my dad always said, if it's raining, wear a raincoat. Had no idea what it was for a long time until I got to teenage years, and then I was like, oh.
Even I didn't catch on until I was like, oh, wait a minute, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, my dad would just say that, and I would have no idea what the fuck he was talking about. Hey,
your dad's not wrong.
Yeah, no, he would tell me that like randomly when I was a kid. If it's raining, wear a raincoat. And then I'd be like, what does that mean? He's like, yeah, you'll know. He just basically said, you'll know later. He would just say it randomly when I was a kid. No idea what the fuck it meant until, got to teenage years. And I was like, oh, yeah. It's so funny. That's my dad right there. But anyways, yeah, don't park a armored truck on top of a manhole. Because Croc, of course, comes climbing through the manhole, and he's not going to be that stealthy because when the truck leaves, he still has the manhole lid uncovered. So it's like, he's not even going to cover his tracks. He's just like, fuck it, I'm just going to hold on to the bottom of the armored truck, and then of course claw my way through and get to these guys and cause this thing to crash. But of course, when it crashes, guess who's there? The judge. With a gavel this time.
Yes, with a giant ass gavel. And another one of those things that, like, how is he standing completely straight up on a moving vehicle? Okay. Batman does it all the time. I know. Yeah. It is, however, one of those tropes that always makes me roll my. It's like, no, there's no way you can stand straight up on a moving car, like unless you got Magna boots. Or you've shot at least Batman sometimes will like shoot the grappling gun like into the roof of the car and like hold on to it. It's like, good, that works, but you're not just gonna stand ramrod straight on top of a moving vehicle.
Yeah, but you got to make it look good. That's the thing.
It's got to look cool.
It's got to look cool, and it does. And of course, they have their little fight, and then Batman sees him in the distance, and it's like, all right, time to get over there. And Batman. It's one of those things. Like if you're watching it fresh. I mean, by this time, I was already going, oh yeah, okay, I remember who this is. But it was like, but if you're watching it, you're because they're on the bridge, and then as they're having their little fight, and then Croc just like climbs up to one of the, I don't know, what do they call that part of the bridge?
I don't know what they call it either. Yeah. I'm not into architecture, so I'm not really sure what you.
But you got a suspension bridge, and where they connect the the suspension cables to hold it up. You got the pillars and everything like that. Anyways, that's where he gets up there, and then naturally he like looks down, and then who shows up on the higher part of the platform? Well, the judge with the moon behind him, looking all freaking cool, and then of course hits him with the gavel, and then knocks him off the ledge, and Batman saves Croc. Course, because
I'm surprised Croc is to him because he smashes Croc in the leg with that gavel, and I totally, especially with the crunch sound they put in there, I totally expected Croc to like drop because that knee is gone.
Oh yeah,
that knee would be gone.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm a 40-year-old man who sometimes his knee just is gone just by walking, but
But hey, Croc, I mean, remember he got the shit beat out of him by Bane at one point.
He did get the shit beat by Bane. That is correct.
He's a tough dude, but yeah, that probably hurt a little bit. But
maybe you should try throwing a rock at him.
Yeah.
It was maybe a big rock.
A big rock. A big rock. See, but I missed that voice. We missed that voice.
That was such a great. That's my Croc.
Yeah.
That's my Croc.
Yes. Court is adjourned. Of course, we get that line. And then of course, he disappears, and it's like, all right. So then of course, We do meet Cochran. Cochran.
You know what? They couldn't even be consistent in the episode with how to
right.
pronounce.
I think they said it both ways. Right.
When he was getting interviewed at one of the press conferences, someone just called it Cochran, but they kept on. I think it was Cochran. They said it like Cochran.
Yeah.
Because I kept on like, are they saying Cochran? I was waiting to see if they were going to say Corrigan, because then I was thinking like Jim Corrigan, the Spectre, and it wasn't that. But yeah, they kept on saying his name funny, and they weren't consistent about it.
Whatever, we'll say Cochran, whatever. But we meet him, and he's like running for, what is he running for again? I forgot.
City council,
which
once again adds to the Phantasmist, because he feels a little bit like Arthur Reeves.
It does feel like him.
Yeah.
Is there?
It's vigilantism at its deadliest.
Is there? Yeah. Is there a voice to him? Because
once again, I really fell asleep on the job. I was just like, this episode has just never been, a big one for me. So like
he sounded like, he sounded like the actor who played Ellis in Die Hard. The shitty, like that one dude who was like, sniffing coke and trying to make a deal with you remember in Die Hard, remember Ellis?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Like
yes,
business deals, and he sounded like him.
Oh, dude, it is. Well, it is somebody. This is embarrassing. It's Steven Weber.
Wings.
Yes.
Okay, Wings. Yes. I know Steven Weber. Yeah. Yes.
Wings.
Because him and Tim Daly. Hey, connection.
I know exactly. Wings.
Yeah, he played the other guy. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Or also the TV version of The Shining.
That's right.
Because he played Jack.
That's right. Where they did more of a legit version, right? Didn't Stephen King prefer
Stephen King adapted it. Yeah, he wrote it.
He preferred that version. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an ABC miniseries.
That's right.
Yeah, because when ABC would do all those, because they did The Stand, they did The Shining, they did The Langoliers.
Yep.
And then tying it back, then they did the original Storm of the Century, which starred Tim Daly. So,
jeez, connections to Tim Daly. That's right. Yeah, Steven Weber. Yeah, I know, because I used to watch Wings like crazy when I was like.
I didn't. Once again, Wings was another one of those that, like, I turn on the TV and it would be on. Another one of those. But a lot of sitcom talk tonight. Apparently,
I know. My mom loved Wings, so she always had it on, and I enjoyed the show. It was
I actually got to see Steven Weber perform live.
What? Doing what?
It was a play in London back in 2005. I'm not sure if I've told the story on the stream before, but my college graduation present was a month-long trip by myself to the United Kingdom.
Oh yeah, I think maybe we've talked about it on the Vox stream, or maybe we've talked about it backstage or just something.
Yeah, like that. But in March of 2005, I spent a month in the UK, and the second week of that trip, I was in London, and because I still had my college ID. And theater in London is super cheap if you've got a student ID card. And the trick was, you just walk up to the box office 30 minutes before performances. And if you had a student ID, they're basically just trying to sell, like they're trying to fill the seats. So they'll basically sell you any seat that's available for like half off. And I went to the Old Vic. And at that time, it was when Kevin Spacey was the artistic director. And so they had a play, and it had Kevin Spacey, Steven Weber, and Mary Stuart Masterson.
Wow.
And I sat second row center.
Nice.
For that show. So yeah, I got to see, I forgot what the play was called. But yeah, it was the three of them, and in Steven Weber, it was actually has the first line in the show. So there was a little small connection there. I remember seeing him live, because I also got to see Patrick Stewart and Joshua Jackson in a David Mamet play. And that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure. Jeez. Yeah, I remember you talking about your trip from before. But I didn't know Steven Weber was also a stage guy too. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and I mean, he's just one of those, once again, one of those old school actors who just did,
He just would show up and shit. Like it was
yeah.
just like he would show up in shows, and I think he was like playing like some kind of doctor. Currently is, or I don't know. He's in one
I
of those.
think you're right. I don't know which
Yeah.
show, but yeah, I
Yeah,
think you're
I just
right.
remember him from Wings. Like that was like I mean, there's a lot of people that came out of that show that obviously Tim Daly was part of that show. But yeah, that's where I mainly remember him. He was the opposite to Tim Daly. I think they were brothers on that show because the show had to do with like a small airport on Nantucket Island, and they were like pilots, or one of them. I think Tim Daly was a pilot. I don't know, but it was a fun show. It was a fun show. Anyways, tangents. I tell you, love it.
We have to go out the same way we came in.
Exactly. This is what's all and the tangents will continue as we go further along. But for some reason, I was just thinking it was that actor that played Ellis in Die Hard. I don't know. He had that cadence, like it sounded like him. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm good. Now I have to go back and hear it, and maybe I'll hear some of that Steven Weber, because he was really laying that that shoddy politician kind of
right, like I said, which is why it sounded so much like Arthur Reeves to me. Because it's just that I've got a re-election. I have a re-election campaign, and I need, you're popular in the polls. I mean, he's already like, he's clearly crooked.
Oh yeah, because he's working with them, and he's like, "Oh, this is bumping me up because it's another vigilante type," So
Gordon's got the Batman. I got my own one.
Yeah.
I always love it when like the smarmy politician that you've met for one episode thinks that he can do the same thing that like the commissioner, who's been the commissioner for literally years in universe, gets to do. It's like, no, that's not.
It doesn't work that way, bud.
It doesn't work that way. No,
doesn't work that way. And then we get the judge showing up. We get an appearance of the Riddler in this episode.
Yeah, we got one line by John Glover.
Yeah, I know. I know, it was so short. It was like, all right, he just I forgot what he says.
He says, "Hey, diddle diddle, time for a riddle."
And then it's just like,
which is funny because "Hey, diddle diddle," that's actually the title of the first episode of Batman 66, because Gorshin's Riddler was the first villain of the series. It was a two-parter. With also Jill St. John. So
there you go, man. Jeez, that's cool. I would not have put that together. That's for damn sure. I forgot. Yeah, the Riddler was the first like villain in that series,
and it's good. Like, I mean, Frank Gorshin was always like,
oh, dude, his Riddler laugh. Yeah. He was always great.
Oh yeah. So we got a little Riddler, and then the judge comes in. I'm going to throw the book at you, and God,
so many puns. Takes him out, of course, and then of course obviously, like when all this is happening, we always get the shot of the TV and the news reports, and we get Cochran again, who's just all about supporting this vigilante. And then I love it when we're at some kind of little bar, and then you got the bartender like watching, and then all of a sudden somebody shoots the TV, and it's like, wait, what? It's like, did you not know that Two-Face was in your bar?
I mean, it's not like he just walked in. He was seated at a table,
with his henchmen around him.
Guys.
It's like I just got a footage. It's like, hey, oh shit. It's like, yep, all right, not gonna mess with you, buddy. So, but yeah, so obviously, Two-Face does not like what's happening and what's going on here.
Well, because Corrigan basically says Cochran again, whatever you want to pronounce his name, basically says, I have it on good authority that Two-Face better
Yeah.
leave town, and
Yeah.
that doesn't sit well with Two-Face.
Yeah, of course that's not gonna say well Two-Face. And then of course, so now he's like gotta be ready. And then when we get to his hideout, I like how Batman just shows up and just punches him right in the face. He just walks up, just, and then I love what he says too when he's like holding him down against the bar. He's like, "It's okay, Harvey. It's the good cop." That's a good line.
That was a good one. Like
That was a good line.
that's a good line.
Yeah.
Because when is Batman ever the good cop?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And he's like, "Yeah, I thought I'd give you, I thought I'd talk to you before, because obviously the judge has it out for him." And of course, like Two-Face doesn't know what the hell's going on and everything. And then his security system just starts going wacko and just starts shutting, all the windows, steel shutters, steel doors, trapped. And then of course on the TV the judge shows up and basically just letting them know that, hey, your time has come, sorry Harvey, you're done. But
Yeah,
Batman's there this time.
and exactly. And then of course, I love how Batman's like, knowing you have a secret way out. So
Yeah.
where is it?
Yeah.
And then he like shoves Batman out of the way and goes to the secret escape hatch, only to find that it's been blocked off. And he's like, how did you know about this? I'm the only one who knew about this.
That's where things start going. If you're paying attention,
Yes.
Wait a minute.
This is, however, it's really like your only real clue.
Yeah. That's really the only hint that you get.
Yeah.
When it comes to who the judge is right there. It's not bad. I mean, like if you're watching it fresh, if you miss that little line, you're not going to catch it, but but obviously, like I said, you knew from the beginning. I've remembered 10 minutes in and I was like, you start doing the Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah. What?
That's the point.
Man, that's a scene. That's a Tarantino scene that just keeps on delivering, doesn't it?
He knew what he was doing. He knew that was yeah. I don't know if he knew it was going to be a meme, but hey, it is a meme for life. But so yeah. So all that happens, and then Batman just goes like, hey, duck down. I'll take care of this, and he throws an explosive batarang. Woo!
Which is going to. Of course, it's like you could have just blown up. I almost thought about Arkham. Like he needed like the explosive gel. He needed to like.
Maybe he realized after that he should have an explosive batarang. I don't know.
I don't know. Let's make sure that but of course, just like in the Arkham games, let's make sure that when we squeeze out the explosive gel, we make sure that we draw a bat with it whenever we like squeeze it.
Exactly. You got to put your brand on it,
Yeah, exactly.
But so yeah, he throws it at the steel doors. It blows up, of course, and fucks everything up. And then I just love it. Like Batman's like, he gets up, and then Harvey just walks up and kicks him right in the head.
Oh, I mean, this is not just dirty. That just is like,
so dirty.
I'm going to thank you later as he runs out.
It's like Jesus Christ. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, that checks out. That checks out, But yeah, it kicks him right in the face, and then of course we go back to Cochran, whatever. Says, like when he's on the phone with the judge. And essentially, like, he's being the politician guy by basically saying, like, because the judge is like, hey, I was trying to kill Two-Face and Batman got involved, so I got to take out Batman. But he was like, whoa, buddy. We don't need two freaking good guy vigilantes having a slap match before.
I love the fact you called it a slap fight. Like,
yeah, a little slap fight. And he's like, hey, the primaries are coming up. I'm backing you. I don't need you to be fighting Batman. Come on, buddy. But yeah. It was a good line. It was a good line.
I also thought it was funny how the judge does a speakerphone just by like, he doesn't even have like an actual speakerphone. He just has the receiver off the cradle and and the receiver is just like laying on the table. And that's his way of doing speakerphone.
Hell yeah, man. Those old school phones right there. But and then of course, Batman shows up to his office and, he does bring up a little bit of a point of like, hey, if I'm teaming up with this guy, he's like getting some shit done because, there's a revolving door that's happening in Arkham. But then I like how he's like, he gets like really into it. And then he goes, hey, but hey, you are doing a good job. And he touches him on the shoulder. And of course, Batman looks at his hand like, you touching me?
Yeah, that was a hand like, how many fingers do you want to lose
Yeah.
right now?
I
You
mean,
know?
I could break your, your whole fist if you want me to. But it was just kind of like he gives him that little look like, "Hey, don't be putting your hands on me. Then bad things will happen." But Cochran is just kind of being like, he's doing that whole thing where it's like there's a justification, which I mean, I guess you could kind of see it at the same time, but at the same time, it's like,
But it's
no,
also but it's just kind of like but
yeah,
it's a Batman universe trope of
yeah,
Batman locks away the criminals, they break out. So we have the other vigilante who comes out and just it's like the Red Hood. It's like,
yeah.
why don't we just start killing them
Why don't
so
we just
we
start
don't
taking them
have to
out?
worry about them coming out the revolving door?
Yeah,
It's basically that argument, which I don't mind. It's a classic Batman
well,
argument. It brings the no kill rule into it's been done enough times. I'm not sure if you can still call it interesting, but
yeah.
I still think uh, it's a valid storytelling
It's a
method
very
in
a valid justification, I guess you could say, of like, because because I don't know how many times people just go like, if he just killed the Joker, it'd be done with. It's like, yeah, but then there would not be any more stories. I mean, let's face it, they have to find a justification of like why the villains keep on coming back. Yeah, maybe in like real life, somebody would just be like, or Tim Burton's Batman would just be like, fuck him, or like
yeah.
that.
If it
Yeah,
was Tim Burton, oh yeah,
yeah,
he's done after the first movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He's like,
Come
no, no
come
more
on.
Joker after the first one.
I'm standing right here, you son of a bitch.
Oh man. So then of course Cochran is walking to his car and then Two-Face approaches them. So it's like, oh, that's not good. So Cochran gets of course taken by Two-Face. And then we get the we get a cool little, Batman analyzing the gavel. And with Alfred and just kind of showing like, okay, so there's something interesting about this gavel. It's got a, obviously the police have already dusted it, not going to find any fingerprints, not going to find anything like that, but there are holes that are in the the head of the gavel.
Right, that are very evenly spaced
Yeah.
to be like even of course, doesn't that just tell you how terrible the cops are in Gotham? It's like the
Yeah.
butler could figure out that a plaque was there. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Like, hello guys, come on. You could tell it's like, yeah, you could probably figure out where this came from. And sure enough, it was like kind of like a trophy little award thing given out where so it's like, okay, so now we can just and then of course they do that thing where it's just showing Alfred and Batman looking up at the screen is all, and then running it through the Bat computer and be like, recognize any names, and then oh my word, and then it cuts to the next scene. It's like, oh, all right, well we gotta wait. We gotta wait till the climax, right? You can't just But that's what's good. You have to leave. Yeah, you can't just obviously give
yeah,
it
and now
away.
if you're old enough and watching this, you probably figured it up at this point because if you realize
Yeah,
that the award is for judges and lawyers,
just a
it's like
lawyer. Who is a lawyer?
who's a lawyer and who's been in this episode quite a bit.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Who hasn't? And then who didn't get taken out by the judge? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then naturally we have Cochran that's all tied up and everything, and he's just basically like, well, Two-Face is just not having it, and it's like, all right, henchman, get him out of here, take care of him. And then of course Cochran tries to do his whole like negotiation thing, like, hey, I can get you 100,000 right now, and then he's like, should have said that before he flipped the coin, obviously.
That was a boss move, by the way.
It
It's like
was.
because I think it's interesting because Two-Face is like, no, I've already flipped the coin,
Yeah.
so the choice has already been made. Now, if you had told me that before I flipped the coin, there was a possibility, but he's already flipped the coin is already decided. So while you are giving a great offer now, well, you're fucked
Yeah.
because
Sorry.
sorry, I've already flipped the coin and you get the bad side.
I know. See.
Which is cool, which I did find is a cool thing for Two-Face. That's like he didn't just reflip it. No, he stuck to his guns. He flipped the coin decided, you know, so sorry you didn't present that information earlier when it could have done you some good.
Exactly. So I mean, but that just shows you like, yeah, I mean, this is a very much a Two-Face type of episode. And then, of course, I think this is where we're going to jump in right here.
Okay, cool.
Because why not? Because this is, of course, we got the two henchmen that I love it too. And it's like, hey, I could pay you guys. And I even have more money. And then, like, one of the guys, they look at each other like, you want us to double cross Two-Face? No. Yeah,
you
like,
dumb fuck. No.
Yeah, like, we're not doing that. And then, of course, the judge shows up with his, he's got these little like cuffs that just kind of magnetically secure. And of course, that's where we're kind of jumping in here where,
the cuts are cool. I will admit that's
Yeah.
a gadget. Of course, I also want to know. Of course, I also want to ask the 40-year-old man question of where did all these goodies come from?
Exactly. Like, yeah, who's your Lucius Fox? Whoa.
It is kind of cool.
Cool shot.
Yeah, it's a cool shot. Blind justice.
Yep.
The sword, the scales.
Ouch.
They're gonna hold on. They're gonna breathe. Okay, we didn't kill him.
Yeah, we're good.
What are you waiting for? They were going to murder me.
Who are you to
See, now I can hear Steven Weber.
Yeah, I can hear Steven Weber a little bit right there.
While secretly stealing from the very people you swore to protect.
No, you got it wrong.
And then you lied to the judge.
Fire! Batman intervenes.
Good to be back to see you, Corcoran. I have some news about your hero.
Corcoran.
Batman, I hold you in
contempt.
I like how the keys are just dangling from his wrist right there. It's like, you know that he needs those keys.
Right, but that's the cool part. The keys don't just come out of nowhere later. They've actually been there the entire time. So as far as continuity, I appreciated the keys being there the entire scene.
Yeah, no, it's a good little detail.
But I mean, it is kind of funny that you keep the keys just like jangling on your wrist.
They wanted to make it noticeable. Like, hey,
we haven't adjourned yet.
Oh boy,
4 of them. We're gonna hop Batman.
No,
dude, he can jump. That's kind of like that scene where Batman escapes the police department in The Batman. Like when he goes to the bottom of the stairs and shoots up the grappling gun.
A little bit, yeah. Dun, dun.
The scales of justice.
There are the keys.
There are the keys. Click, 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 click.
Quickly.
down here, this way.
You gotta help me on this, Batman.
Nope.
This could be bad for me. Worse than you think.
Shit.
I like how he says worse than you actually think. There we go. Two-Face.
No, see, that's cool. How Two-Face's theme.
Yep.
Man,
Just comes
starts
popping in.
You guys popping in.
Hey, it's the
That
judge.
was always a great
No,
theme.
it's Two-Face.
Two-Face had a great theme.
And Batman's like, good luck with the press, dickhead.
So let me understand this. In reaction to Two-Face, Harvey Dent created
And now we have to have the
third
complete like
personality.
expositional dump about how what
Yeah.
we just saw.
Personality so separate, he even tried to kill himself without knowing it.
That's how the judge knew about the escape hatch in Two-Face's apartment. He knew everything about Two-Face.
Yeah.
This actually is kind of a
devil.
staple formula
What will
of
ever
the
become
Batman
of
the
him now?
Animated Series, where you have like the breakdown
in the
Yeah.
court.
in the end of the
Honor the
episode.
people versus Harvey Dent. How does the prisoner plead?
This is a cool little ending right here.
This is a cool ending.
Guilty.
You know, I mean, yeah. So Harvey was a little bit more effed up this time around and created another personality that literally was trying to kill him, which is like, wow.
Because it was that disassociated.
Yes.
So, yes.
Crazy. You know what? Not a bad episode.
Not a bad
enjoyed the
episode. No.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
Mad
hard
Love
when
would
you.
have been a nice one to go out on, but at the same time, this is not an episode where it's like, I mean, it's not like last week when it came to the Creeper. Where
Oh my god, we just oh god, I should have had
Yeah.
a beer for that episode.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously.
But this one, not
It's
pretty
fine.
It's a good one to go out on when it comes to Batman the Animated Series, with Harvey creating another alternate personality that is the Judge. I mean, yeah, a little too punny, but not bad. I actually rather enjoyed that.
I really do feel like in the pantheon of Batman the Animated Series episodes, I think we've established there is fucking awesome, pretty good, fine,
and
then Batman in my bed. I've got Batman in my basement.
Yeah, there's some interesting ones, but yeah, like I said, guys, it's all there in the playlist and everything for you to listen to if you ever want to start from episode 1. And
technically, episode 0.
Technically, we started off by just being like, "Hey, this is the introduction." Blah blah blah.
Here's the history of the show. Here's how it came about.
And of course, we did Mask of the Phantasm. We did Sub-Zero. We did even a Sega CD alternate, like a extra episode when it came to Batman. So yeah, we covered it all. We
are nothing if not thorough.
Exactly, we did. And
because once again, this is why Dave brought me on.
Exactly. This is why when I immediately thought of the idea of doing this, like I said, it was originally called Batman Fan-imated stream. That's what it was originally called. But then we realized, there's way more we can talk about when Superman started getting involved. So then it's just switched over to DC Fan-imated. So yeah, fun to talk about all. It's kind of crazy that it's almost been 4 years, but yeah. Been fun talking about just strictly Batman, and of course there's plenty other Batman that we're gonna talk about, but obviously this specific animated series obviously is near and dear to our hearts. I think we've said it so many times breaking down episodes is this is what Batman the Animated Series was, what really made us love Batman, and I think a lot of people can resonate that. Yeah,
and just DC, this is what made me a DC fan.
Exactly,
was this show.
It was this show, and it was always, because we didn't know. I mean, I remember going into this only knowing a handful of the Rogues Gallery, and then
basically if they showed up in Batman 66.
Yeah, sure, yeah, and then maybe the handful of comic books that I might have gotten after that. But yeah, we didn't, I didn't know about Man-Bat, Clayface,
Mad Hatter.
Hatter.
Mad Hatter was in 66, but
I don't really remember him. Even
he had the top hat with the eyes that would hypnotize you.
But there was Killer Croc. I had no idea. There was just like a lot of, I mean, and then of course the fact that it brought in characters like Harley Quinn that we would not have exist.
Harley Quinn, Summer Gleason, Renee Montoya, people who are canon now. I mean, once again, that moment when Summer Gleason showed up in the Penguin and we all went, "Oh my!"
He said the name Summer Gleason. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, and like I said, Harley Quinn has just always been a fan favorite and still is. I mean, there's a Harley Quinn show that is getting the new season. Which 5.
I still haven't watched. I still haven't finished season 4.
I know I got to finish that too. And it was funny because I rewatched the trailer. I'm like, holy shit, they are going to places in season 5. Holy crap! So definitely got to catch up. But yeah, I mean, this series is. I mean, it's not going to be
iconic. It is not that term gets thrown around.
Yeah,
but this is an iconic series. It's been around for 33 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, remember Conroy when he passed away? He passed away at the 30-year mark. Like, he had been Batman for 30 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is like everybody looks at Conroy as the Batman voice because of this series. They look at Mark Hamill as the Joker voice because of this series, which is funny because at first he was not cast as the Joker. Tim Curry was the Joker at first, and then of course they redid his voice stuff, but there was like one, if you go back to that one episode, which episode, what is it again?
It was
Christmas?
Be a
No,
Clown.
it was Be a Clown.
Be a Clown.
You heard like they leftovers from that original Tim Curry.
Yeah. Be
record.
a Clown, you still hear his laugh as one of the like little Jack.
That's
Jack
right.
thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
They left
it's
that.
Last laugh, the one with the stinky garbage. That's the one you can actually still find like clips on YouTube of what Tim Curry's voice sounds like. Because once again, it's fun to go back and look at those episodes and realize how Mark Hamill's voice and the animation don't quite sync up yet.
Yeah, because he said there's his voice is just so big, it's so much bigger, and when you see like how like they drew it, it's like doesn't quite line up.
Yeah, because Mark Hamill was first hired to be that president of Goth Corp for Heart of Ice.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, so many voices, so many times that it was like, who's that voice? Who's that? But yeah, been fun times talking about Batman the animated series. Crazy. But like I said, we still got plenty of other Batman. We got Batman Beyond. We got the Batman. We'll even get into Batman Cape Crusader eventually. Like I said, we're not stopping when it comes to animation, when it comes to the DC universe, and they don't seem like they're stopping either. So
no, they do not.
And we love that because we are DC heads. But what do we got starting next week?
I hinted at it last week, but here we go, everyone. Let's see. Where is it? I was so prepared, and now I'm not. There it is. It's so hard to find this, but
yes, we are jumping into the future.
50 years into the future.
Yep.
Welcome to my world, Mr. McGinnis.
There it is, man.
Rebirth Part 1, the very first episode of Batman Beyond is next week.
There it is. So we're still going to hear Kevin Conroy. We're still in this world. It's just now a different
50 years later.
50 years later. So yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to diving, because I didn't watch Batman Beyond as much as I watched repeat on Batman.
Really? I was there every Saturday morning watching. I have lots of we're going to get to episodes where I can tell stories of what was going on in my life when I watched this particular episode. I mean, I was a freshman in college watching this show. Like that's like either I would watch it in my dorm room or I only went to college 30 minutes away from my house, and my college had nothing to do on campus on the weekends. So I would go home on the weekends, and I can remember being in my parents' house still college freshman watching Saturday morning cartoons.
But see, that's the thing is like, that's the thing. That's we got to that age where, so then it's like I caught episodes, but I didn't watch them frequently. And when you're a kid watching these episodes, they're on repeat. You're watching them again and again. So that's why it's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to be as like this. Some of these are not going to be as familiar as Batman the animated series for sure. But I definitely did check it all out. And I remember, I think even my not my first roommate, but my second roommate, who I'm still friends with, of course, he was a diehard Batman fan, and he really loved Batman Beyond. And I remember we revisited some of it too while we were living together. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to dive into all that. So there you go, guys. We're going to be diving into the beyond the Batman Beyond. So looking forward to that opening sequence.
Oh,
right.
Darwin Cook on that opening title sequence. That was Darwin Cook. May he rest in peace.
Oh man, Darwin Cook, great. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys still sticking with us. Like I said, this is it when it comes to Batman the Animated Series, the way where it all started. And we're glad that some of you are still sticking with us. And like I said, you can go back and watch all the episodes of all the breakdown of Batman the Animated Series. But yeah, we must go on to the beyond. So looking forward to it. Go ahead.
By the way, let me take a moment to say,
go ahead.
by the way, let me take a moment to say we have not forgotten about Superman the Animated Series.
No.
We are still in the middle of season 3, but at this point, folks, there is no difference between production and air date. So now everything we watch is the order in which we watch every episode going forward is based on the date on which it aired.
Yeah.
And believe me, I've checked.
Yeah. He's done the research. He's the one.
I've done the research. So we are now watching. So now what we'll be doing is we'll be jumping between season 1 of Batman Beyond and season 3 of Superman the Animated Series. But the episodes will occur in the order in which the episode first aired. So just wanted to give a little bit of a programming note that's like, we know we're not done with Superman yet, and we're going to get to Superman. It's just there was this big chunk of time where there wasn't a new Superman episode. So it's what happened.
Yeah. So like I said, we stuck to production order, but now it's all just lining up the way that it aired. So there you go. All right, go ahead and promote away, Scott, whatever you got.
I really don't have anything to promote because my life is so crazy busy. Like I said, when I get time, I've got to finish Creature Commandos, and then Ray and I have got to record an episode of DCTV Squadcast. But other than that, right now it's just, you and me every Wednesday night. It's like the only sure damn thing I've got in my life right now. So
nice.
I'll figure something out later, but damn, I need to get some sleep.
Yeah, you need to get some sleep. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys. And like I said, we'll be going 50 years into the future to Batman Beyond next week. So come back for that and hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, do all the things. And we love you. We will talk to you later.